new people shouldn't deal with old problems. I feel like a lot of people often get into relationships or start new friendships when they have a lot of problems that they've never dealt with. They have a lot of problems with themselves that they never addressed. And they're bringing all that onto somebody else. They're expecting another person to come fix them when that's not their job, that's not their responsibility. And people will often get driven away by this. A lot of people think that, hey, I can fix this person. Because myself is a good example. I think that if I find somebody with problems, I'm like, hey, I can fix them. But what I learned and what I had to understand is it doesn't matter what I do for somebody. If they don't want to be fixed, then I can't fix them. If the only thing that you can do is you can open the door for them, they are the ones who have to walk through it. You can't hold their hand every second of the day. You can't be there in their life, babying them, solving all their problems for them every hour, every minute of the day. They have to deal with their problems on their own. And yeah, you can give them advice, you can help them out, but you're not going to be there all the time. And that's what a lot of people expect from other people. They're like, hey, you didn't show up when I needed you. But you need to understand that people can't always be there for you. People have their own problems. And a lot of people will put other people's problems ahead of their own, and that's very unhealthy. And that's on you, because you're putting your problems onto another person. So now they're like, oh, I have their problems and I have my own problems. So they're going to try to help you fix you before they'll help themselves. They'll fix their own problems. So now that person has so much on their plate, so much on their mind, and nobody can do that. Nobody can handle all those problems. And that's why people often get driven away. People often lose people in their life because they're putting things on to somebody else that shouldn't be their responsibility, that shouldn't be their problems. And yeah, there are certain people who can deal with their problems as well as somebody else's problems very, very well. But it's hard for them. It's harder for them than it is for you, because they have your problems as well as theirs, but you only have your problems. So before you put your problems onto somebody else, understand that, hey, they might be dealing with something that I don't even know about. They might be dealing with something that they're not telling me about, and that's okay. You can't expect them to tell you every little thing that's wrong, every single thing that's causing them problems in their life. It's their life, not yours. So you have to respect their decision, whatever it may be. If they don't want to talk about it, leave it. But let them know, hey, I'm here for you. If you want to talk about it, I'll be here for you. And if you're always talking to people about your problems, then they feel like if they talk to you about their problems, then you're trying to invalidate them. So if you're always saying, oh, I got this going on, I got that going on, I also got this, they're not gonna tell you what's happening in their life now, because they feel like, okay, they already have so many things going on in their life. I don't want to burden them with my problems as well, so I'm just gonna keep it to myself. I'm just gonna help them with theirs, and I'm just gonna get through my own stuff on my own. So understanding that if you put a lot of problems onto another person, they won't share their problems with you. They won't try to take on your burdens. They'll take on your burdens as well as theirs, but they won't burden you with theirs. So just deal with your problems before somebody else has to. You have to really take some time on your own. You can't always chase another person's protection. You can't always chase another person's company, especially new people. You have to go through things on your own sometimes. And I feel like that's the best way to deal with problems. That's the best way to really find yourself. Because if somebody else is solving everything for you, then you'll never learn, you'll never grow as a person. If somebody else is doing all your exams, all your tests for you, if you're paying somebody to write that paper for you, then what's gonna happen when they're not available? What's gonna happen when they don't perform the way that you expected them to? They get a bad grade on your test for you. Who's that on? Is that on them or is that on you? It's on you, because you decided, hey, I'm going to ask them. And now if they gave you bad information, they got the answer wrong, you're blaming them, even though it was your responsibility to deal with that test, your responsibility to deal with that problem. And maybe they misguided you, maybe they were mistaken, and that was never their intention. Their intention was never to lead you in the wrong direction. Their intention was never to get a bad grade, get you a bad grade on the test. But they did. It happened. That's your responsibility. That's your problem. And now you're gonna blame another person for it. So deal with things on your own. Deal with your problems before you put it on to somebody else, before you put it on to a new person. And yeah, I think that people should help other people with their problems, but not every single inconvenience you have in your life, not every single problem that you have in your life. You're your own person. So you have to start making your own decisions. You have to start finding your own solutions, because if somebody is solving your problems every single time, what's gonna happen when they leave? You're gonna be lost. You're gonna fall back even further than where you were before. So learn to deal with things on your own. So I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll see y'all in the next one.